His Iryxians were scholars, not soldiers. For centuries, they built a peaceful civilization rooted in knowledge and cooperation, believing that diplomacy would always prevail. But when the ruthless Gorthan raiders descended on their worlds, peace meant nothing. Cities crumbled, families were slaughtered, and their cries for help echoed into the void, unanswered, until Earth heard them. No one expected humanity to respond. After all, they were a relatively new species on the galactic stage, unpredictable, intense, and often avoided. But when Earth received the Xyrixians' desperate transmission, they didn't send a message. They sent a fleet, not to negotiate, not to delay, but to end the threat with overwhelming force. What followed would shake the galaxy and forever change what it meant to ask humans for help. The last message. The Xyrixians were not built for war. A peaceful species, they evolved, without claws or fangs, thriving instead through communication, mutual cooperation, and a deep-rooted belief in diplomacy. Their civilizations were marvels of architecture and science, lush, efficient cities wrapped in gardens and crystalline towers. Art was sacred. Knowledge was currency. Their defense systems? Mostly ceremonial. And that was their mistake. When the Gorthan raiders came, scavengers turned warlords. No treaties were honored, no embassies spared. The Xyrixians had no fleet, no weapons of real consequence. Their spaceports fell in hours. Their planetary shields, designed for solar flares and meteor defense, were nothing to the Gorthans' repurposed mining lasers and brute force boarding ships. The Xyrixian High Council watched helplessly as their satellites went dark one by one. With options dwindling and evacuation impossible, they made one final move, a distress signal, not a cry of vengeance, not a demand, simply a call. To any who can hear, we are under attack. We cannot defend ourselves. We seek aid, any aid. Please. It pulsed through the network, echoing in languages and protocols standard across known space. Most civilizations ignored it. Some picked up the signal, logged it, and moved on. But on Earth, it stopped everything. Humanity listens. Humanity's arrival on the galactic stage had been eventful. After centuries of internal conflict, climate repair, and exponential technological advancement, Earth finally reached stable spaceflight in the mid-22nd century. They were late compared to other civilizations, but they compensated with tenacity, rapid learning, and an unapologetic edge. Where others saw risk, humans saw challenge. While most species diplomatically maneuvered, humans asked blunt questions. They were curious, cooperative, but never passive. And most of all, they remembered their history. Humanity knew what it meant to be ignored, forgotten, colonized. When they entered the galactic community, they were careful, but their approach was rooted in something others often underestimated, a deeply moral, sometimes reckless sense of justice. So when the Xyrixian signal arrived, Earth's Global Council held an emergency vote. It took less than 3 hours. The debate was fierce, but the outcome was clear. Humanity would answer. But not with condolences, not with diplomacy, with force. The fleet mobilizes. The 14th Expeditionary Defense Fleet was stationed near Mars orbit, conducting war games with lunar-based AI combat simulations. In less than 12 hours, its orders were changed. 2 dreadnoughts, the UES Ares and the UES Hammurabi, were reassigned. 10 escort cruisers and 20 dropships were loaded with humanitarian supplies, mobile shield generators, and reconstruction kits. The flagship, UES Dawnbreaker, a state-of-the-art command vessel, received its full complement of orbital fire, support platforms. This was not just a military response, it was a statement. At Earth Space Command, Admiral Genevieve Reyes addressed her staff before launch. We go not as conquerors, we go as guardians. The Xyrixians asked for help. They will get more than that. They will get peace, backed by steel. And with a hyperspace pulse that bent the stars, Earth's answer began its journey. The arrival. At Velaran Prime, capital of the Xyrixian Consortium, was burning. Gorthon warships loomed in low orbit, bombarding strategic centers and abducting citizens. Ground troops, the Gorthon equivalent, hulking brutes in mismatched armor, raided knowledge vaults, not to preserve but to strip them for tech to sell. Xerixian resistance was symbolic at best. They used museum relics, reprogrammed drone gardeners, and repurposed comm satellites to coordinate civilian evacuations. Just when all seemed lost, space tore open. The humans arrived. First came the scouts, sleek black vessels armed with railguns and stealth shielding. They mapped enemy positions, coordinated with surviving Xerixian nodes, and confirmed the situation. Then came the hammer. From hyperspace emerged the Dawnbreaker and its fleet. 50 ships in total, including drones, interceptors, medevac units, and engineering cruisers. The Gorthons didn't even have time to regroup. Within 2 hours, orbital superiority shifted. Railguns silenced Gorthon cruisers. Human AI drones flooded communication channels with decoys, shutting down coordination. In 24 hours, the Gorthons lost half their fleet. Operation Emberlight, but Earth's fleet wasn't just fighting. As the military pushed back Gorthon forces, the humanitarian wing deployed. Mobile shield towers were dropped across Xerixian cities, covering hospitals, temples, and evacuation centers. Drones repaired power grids. 3D printers, mounted on supply vehicles, manufactured water filters and shelter pods on site. Human medics, trained in xenobiology, worked side by side with Xerixian caretakers. General Hassan Iqbal, head of ground operations, gave one order to every Marine: